Greetings, YouTubers. We're back. We're in Llanbedr in North Wales, and we're going up to Carnarvon today. It's gusting 28 knots at the moment, so the wind isn't very nice at all. But we probably wouldn't be flying in weather like this. I think that's fair to say. But I've filled the helicopter up, and we're going to go anyway. And we're going to go off to Carnarvon. We'll have a look at Carnarvon Castle first, and then we'll go into Carnarvon and have some tea and scones. That sounds good. Oh, it's raining as well. Look, good. All the better. Get myself seating properly. There we go. Everything's on, switched on. Avionics is on. All good. Fuel pumps on. Right. And it's just helicopter wanders around on the floor. The helicopters don't do this. It's just a glitch in Flight Simulator, okay? I'm not going to bother setting the altimeter. Right, here we go. Wind is southerly today, so we've got the wind is behind us. That's a good thing. I'm just lifting the aircraft into the hover because I'm looking at the instruments. I'm making sure everything's okay, because if it's not okay I can just put it back down on the grass and shut it down, and that's fine. Everything's good. So turn the helicopter. It needs a lot of right foot, the gazelle, because it wants to go left all the time. If you relax the pedals, so just even the pedals up there, look. Helicopter just wants to turn to the left, so it will turn to the left nice and easily, but you have to put loads of right foot in if you want it to go in a straight line. So we'll say bye bye to everybody here at Llanbedr. It's a good place, Llanbedr. It's a really good airport, and we'll make our way through Grotty. Viz, look at that, the cloud. We've got thunder and lightning around, so we really shouldn't fly today. That would be my advice. If you're an inexperienced pilot, is don't go flying today. Stay on the ground and look out the window. Many hours I've spent sitting in the bar, and the old phrase goes, it's much better to be down here wishing you were up there than up there wishing you were down here. Because you can come unstuck, you know. This is we've got high terrain here. We are at sea level obviously, but we've got high terrain here, and we're not going to venture much inland because we could finish up with no visibility at all and then have to do an emergency landing. But this is Harlech. We've got Harlech Castle just off to our right, somewhere on top of that cliff. Now, originally when they built Harlech Castle, the sea came right up to the base of that castle. But obviously you can see the land has risen somewhat since then. Or the bay has silted up, one of the two, I'm not sure which. It's 1,000 years or 800 years of silting up, maybe. Pevensey, they reckon Pevensey was an estuary at one time, and this definitely was, because we know for a fact when they built that castle it was supplied by the sea with ships. That was one of Edward's wheezes, wasn't it? He insisted on that, so they couldn't get a ship anywhere near it today. So something's definitely changed. Either the land has risen for some reason, or the sea's dropped. And I don't think the sea's dropped because it would have dropped in London as well, wouldn't it, if the whole sea had dropped everywhere. So the land's obviously risen up, I think, is the logical explanation. Okay, so I'm trying to do this without a map as well. I should find my way to Carnarvon. I should know the way. Crossing the estuary here, and we're going to weave our way overland here. We've got Snowdon, Mount Snowdon and Snowdonia National Park on my right, and lots of cumulus granitus in there, so We don't want to crash our helicopter into a hillside. So we're not going to go there, we're just going to stay visual with the surface if we can. I know there's a flat bit over here, you can see mountains over there. There's a flat bit over here and that'll bring us out at Carnarvon. Like I say, we will remain visual at all times with the surface. That's my plan, unless I mess it up completely. And I don't think climbing on top is a good plan today, because it's probably really, really horrible and grim everywhere. And as pilots, we do not fly in thundery, stormy weather, okay? I can turn the weather off. If I have to do an emergency landing, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I can. Of course, we can't do that in real life. But I'm going to try and show you why we shouldn't fly in these conditions. And I thoroughly recommend pilots fly in shitty weather in the simulator and see what happens to you. Learn what will kill you and what won't. Because this kind of weather is double dodgy, okay? We're doing 100 knots. And there is a big mast around here somewhere I must keep an eye out for. Lots of wires. Wires and low cloud are the biggest killers of helicopters. You fly into cloud and a lot of times people just lose their orientation. Even though we've got instruments, they lose orientation and they crash and die. So it's really not good. But the beauty of a helicopter is you can land it in a field anywhere in an emergency. Normally you need what's called PPR, which is prior permission required. Okay, I want north from here. I'm pretty sure. Yes, you can't just go and land in someone's field without permission unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, you can land anywhere you want. And hopefully lives will be saved. We can argue about it later, can't we, once we're all down and happy and safe. So I really need to be heading north. Okay, so I'm going to turn north there. More wires, look, more grotty weather. So there is a gap between the mountains of Snowdonia and where I want to go. So I'm going to have to slow down, I think. I don't want to lose visual contact with the ground. I can see a way through. There's a thing called get-home-itis as well, where experienced pilots say, oh, I'll make it, like me now. Going, oh, come on, we'll make it to Carnarvon. And maybe we will. But it's not a good attitude, is it? Get-home-itis has got many people killed before today. Look at these wires. And the weather is atrocious. We have thunder and lightning. We do not want to fly in a cumulonimbus cloud, which is a thunder cloud, because it can pull the aircraft inside out, spit it out in pieces, and then you've had it, haven't you? So I'm going to follow these power lines. You may think they're a hazard, but they're also a navigation feature. They'll help us find our way, and I reckon these go with the way I want to go. To Carnarvon. Like I said, if the visibility starts to deteriorate, we can slow down, and we can just put it down on the ground. And we've had to do that before today on the pipeline helicopter. It's just impossible to continue. It's absolutely zero visibility, and we stayed overnight with a farmer. It was his farm. He came out and made us all very welcome. Right, I'm going to hop over the power line again and carry on up the road, because those pylons look like they're going up a hill. Oh God, no. See what I mean? Gotta go underneath the wires, and that's double dangerous. Tried to go over them. They're only 150 foot high. Then we finish up in cloud, and that is absolutely no good at all. You can see the cloud base because there's a little bit of a hill we've got to cross here. So I'm going to go really slowly now. You see all these flight simulator dudes, and they're flying different aircraft and different. And they've always got the weather turned off. They've got it always turned on to CAV, OK, super sunny, fabulous graphics. Aren't we great? Look at this, isn't it marvellous? Yes, it is marvellous, but it's not real, is it? I like to get as real as we can. I mean, there's only so far we can go with a simulator, you know. But in VR, I always said VR, simulators in VR will be fantastic, and they are. They're absolutely superb. Right, the reason I'm going over here, I'm trying to stay as low as possible with the ground, and there's a bit of a dip here because the cloud base is so low. I mean, this is absolutely insane. In reality, I would not be taking this aircraft flying today, okay? I would have just left it on the ground and gone and done something else instead. Okay, we're heading north, so we're still heading towards Carnarvon. I think we're going to make it. We've overcome the worst bit, but you know, don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's what I say. Well, maybe we'll give Carnarvon Castle a miss and just go straight to the airport. I'm heading north, so that's great. I will hit the coast, and then I'll have to figure out whether Carnarvon is on my left or on my right. And I'll turn right if I don't know, because then I'll get my bearings once I hit the Menai Strait. I've got it all in my mind, you see. I know the area. I don't know the area that well, but I mean, I've been here quite a few times, so it's not a strange place to me. I know it well enough to risk this flight. I mean, I wouldn't even try to go through the mountains, find the mountain pass, because that would just be fatal. And you can crash and die in this helicopter, in the flight simulator. What happens is you finish up back on the pad where you started in a brand new helicopter. You respawn. And I wish it was that simple in real life, but it's not. It's not quite the same as the real thing, because the real thing's a lot noisier and vibrating and shaking, and there's a lot of feedback on the controls, whereas you don't really get that in the simulator. You can get force feedback. Now I'm looking for those two. There they are. There's two wind turbines. They are actually on Carnarvon Airfield, believe it or not. They certainly are on the simulator. So I believe they are there. In real time in life. And this is real time and weather, by the way. Gusting 28 knots. What a ridiculous day to go flying. Plus, you see, we'd have lots of rain all over the canopy, helping us not see where we're going, although the downdrafters tend to clear it a lot. And I remember the pipeline helicopters, the doors used to leak and the rain used to piss in all round, all over the carpets and things, and you think, oh, really expensive helicopter, and they leak like a sieve when it rains. And they do. Well, the Enstrom did, the 480. Right. This is definitely Carnarvon Airport. So we'll call them up, we'll make the approach. There won't be anything flying today. Only an idiot like me would go flying on a day like today. Winds from the south, so it's been behind us most of the time. Looking at the wind turbines, it's giving a completely different story. That's it's supposed to be southerly. Oh yes, it is southerly. I'm coming in at a funny angle. Okay. Take it all back, I'm an idiot. Shut up, ignore me. Right, here we go. Lowering the lever, raising the nose, Trying to keep it straight with the rudders, and we'll turn it into the wind. You must raise the lever again before you start sinking, because you can stall the blades and then just spank into the ground. And you don't want to stall the blades, trust me, you don't. Oh, there's a helipad there. There's another one just here. Okay, we're going along on the H. That other one would have been better actually. Let's see if we can get it down gently in this gusting 28 knots. Into wind, into wind, no, into wind. There we go, we're down. Don't slam the lever down and drop the helicopter like a brick onto the ground, because it will damage it. And they are expensive, and people won't like you if you do that. Okay. Ah, that's great. That is great. So if we pull that lever back, that puts the helicopter into ground idle, so the engine's running, but it's not going to hit flying speed, okay? And the other one's the rotor brake. I'm not going to put the rotor brake on until the rotors slow down enough. So we can have the engine running without the blades turning. So there's two positions, okay? There's ground idle, flight idle. If we want to go flying, we have to push it forward to flight idle. And the disc will pick up to flying speed. And we're not wandering across the ground as much now. Just waiting for that to slow down. See, a lot of these piston helicopters with piston engines and turbos, you've got to let them run. You don't got to let the engine run, you've got to let it cool down. You can't just switch it off like you do a car. You pull up right over here, turn it off. Got to let the temperature of the turbo reduce. I mean, you should do that with a car really, but nobody does, do they? Right, okay, so we can pull the rotor brake all the way down there. And that should stop the rotors going round. There we go, they've stopped. Now if we pull the plug, that one, that's going to stop the engine, that's going to cut the fuel off. But before we do that, I'm going to turn the generator off, he says. There we go. Alternators off, battery, leave that on for a sec. Avionics master switch, that can go off. I think. Right, that's good. Okay, we can shut the engine down now. And you can see on the dial there, it's just completely dying off. And it should stop completely once we've done that. We can knock the battery off and everything's gone off. Look, that's great. And we can put the starter switch down to off position. These are useless, these things. Anyway, it won't go down, but everything's off. Helicopters shut down and stopped. And the weather is atrocious, and I'm going to get a cup of tea. Absolutely horrible day. And it's a perfect day to destroy a perfectly good helicopter by being an idiot and taking it flying on a grotty day. Are these active? Yes, they are. Look at that. That's cool. There we are. It's still wandering about like on the ground. It's definitely a flight simulator glitch, that. But this was the first helicopter I ever went flying in. I was in the Air Cadets in 1975, RAF Halfar, in Malta. I was on annual camp overseas, and I sat in the middle seat there because I was the smallest cadet, and of course all the big lads wanted to be in the front and at the sides, and I got stuck in the middle there. I was about 13 years old. and everyone else was a corporal or a sergeant, and they were like 17. So that was me. But what a fabulous helicopter. I was absolutely, totally impressed with it, for sure. I think, can we go in the back? No, I don't think we can. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.